Welcome to The Fuzz Buzz, the podcast that dives headfirst into the gritty and gripping world of first responders. From military heroes to our courageous police force, brave firefighters, dedicated EMS professionals, compassionate nurses, diligent correction officers, and the unsung heroes of dispatchers, we're covering it all. Get ready for a no-nonsense, no-holds-barred conversation with your hosts, bringing over 45 years of combined experience from the heart of a bustling city. Retired Police Lieutenant Jessica Taylor and her co-host, the one and only retired Motors Officer, Mike Gonzalez. These two are fearless in tackling any subject, and we mean any. From street smarts to office politics, they'll keep you on your toes, juggling your professional and personal life like a pro. Now, let's be clear, folks. There's no BS here. Jessica and Mike aren't just your average cops turned podcasters. They're sharp, witty, and edgy, with opinions that are all their own, and they certainly don't represent anyone else or their organizations. So, fasten your seatbelts, because the Fuzz Buzz is here to give you the unfiltered truth about life behind the badge and beyond. Are you ready?
Hi, it's code for 148 North St. Andrews. Fowler heard not speak.
Then let's roll.
Well, hi.
Well, hello. How's it going?
Well, it's going. So if you hear our cat in the background, we're really sorry. She just won't be quiet.
Why do you dime yourself out before it even happens?
Because I know it's going to happen. This is the
bet,
same cat that you guys saw in the episode yesterday where she peed on the stove.
I'm willing to bet we don't hear her, so.
Okay.
All right.
I'll take that bet.
Sure.
Okay. So today we have for you the same layout as we had yesterday, or our last episode, I guess it was. Reality recap, top news stories, video review, questions, and then we'll lighten the load. Okay. So first we're going to start out with reality TV, and we're going to just talk about Survivor and quitters. And how
I've never seen that, but yeah, this last, what is this? Season 45 or whatnot of Survivor.
Yeah.
And they had two people right out of the gate just quit.
Right. You don't quit in Survivor.
I'm too hungry. I don't really want to be here. My heart's not in it. I quit. And I was like, what?
Yeah. And so getting your torch snuffed is like a rite of passage, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you earned it by getting voted off, not by quitting.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just like these pansy ass people are, go through all the trouble just to get on the show, just to quit when two other solid people who really wanted to be there could have been there, including myself.
Yep.
Right.
That would actually, stuck it out till getting voted off, just not quitting because, it's harder than I thought.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot these days, though. Well,
yeah.
I wanted that job, but it's just too hard.
It's too hard. I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I can't work from home.
Yeah. You want me to do 8 hours a day? It's a lot of time.
Yeah, but Yuri Bezmenov says, take over one generation, and here we are.
Yeah.
So here's what Jeff Probst had to say about it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I hear 2 contestants quit this season.
Quitters, man. In fact, I want to just yes, 2 people quit. The truth is, over 45 seasons, less than 1% quit. So it's pretty remarkable people actually do it.
What was it? What's usually it's a mental thing, right?
They just don't want to, they just get out there. You can't, the one thing you can't test for in all the psych testing is the real elements, the rain, the bamboo, the snakes, and all that. But I want to declare right here on your show that from this point forward, if you're a Survivor player and you quit, your torch will not be snuffed. That's over. To get your torch snuffed, you got to play the game. I know if you're not a Survivor fan, you're like, what?
No, I understand what you're saying.
No,
they like that, right? It's their moment.
Yeah, you don't get the moment if you quit, I think.
No.
I think I need to be a little harder on that.
I agree.
1,000% correct. It's a rite of passage. You absolutely should not get to have your torch.
I equate it to a participation award.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get the award for participating. You get the award for actually winning or trying.
Yeah, we don't give out participation trophies in Survivor. No.
Or in my case, life.
Yeah, life in general, right?
If you didn't earn it, you don't get it.
Yeah, this is what we say about it as no quitters.
Yep. like you said, though, it's a shame because there was 2 other people that tried out that got to that final stage of almost being selected to be on Survivor that didn't get it because these 2 quitters got it instead.
Yeah, I'm not about it.
But then again, I think if you had the pictures of the contestants that did quit, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I could see that.
Well, I know, but how the hell did they even get on there in the first place?
Well, yeah, clearly they do psyche evals too, so.
Yeah, I know. It's really scary. Okay, so let's go over our top news stories. And did you hear about this?
Nope.
This was in the AP, the Associated Press, and this was that the thin blue line in Pennsylvania, the court has ruled that the thin blue line flag can now fly again.
Oh, it can?
Yeah, because they were calling it,
Yeah, they're calling it a hate group.
Yeah, hate speech, hate, all this kind of crazy business.
Yeah.
Well, the courts came down and said, whatever, it's still protected under the First Amendment. So
good for them. Good for the officers that brought that lawsuit.
Yeah, the officers brought the lawsuit and they won.
Yeah.
So
wow, look at that. Common sense does prevail somewhere. Sometimes,
yes. And then, of course, not to be outdone, we have Seattle.
Oh, again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trendsetters for what not to do. The burning dumpster fire.
It says that somebody that goes by Beth Dutton on Twitter says, or forwards this message. She says, I'm so shocked Seattle is on this list. You can tell it's a total eye roll. The 4 leading cities in truck hijackings is Seattle, Memphis, Birmingham, and San Diego.
Wow.
How embarrassing.
Yeah, no, they're talking about trucks as far as like semi-trucks full of like cargo goods, right? Not just people getting their
probably
pickup trucks.
Probably both. I don't know.
Well,
but regardless, it's
like, the pickup truck's just a carjacking. So it's this truck hijacking.
Yeah, I would say like semis.
Yeah, I would too, but that doesn't surprise me. I mean,
no, Seattle's a total dump.
Yeah,
total dumpster fire.
Right here. See right there.
Yep. Okay, so the next top story is the one that we were talking about. Walmart, Costco, and other supermarket chains are beginning to rethink their controversial self-checkout method after the boom it received over the last few years.
And what is that boom?
Shoplifting.
Right.
Is that what you mean?
Yep. The boom would be the amount of shoplifting, the cost it's got, the monetary value of all that shoplifting going on.
Yeah. So there's nothing that bugs me. Well, I mean, I'm sure there is some things that bug me more, but checking out. Well, first bringing your own bag. See, heard the cat. I was right.
Yeah, that's that cat. That's Harley.
It's Harley. Okay, so not only do you need to bring your own bag,
yes,
to Walmart now.
Well, hold on. For the folks that are viewing this and don't live in Washington, or I don't know, maybe Walmart's different. How much does a Walmart bag cost if you will buy their bag?
I think $1.99 or 99 cents.
I think it's about $1. So now, usually they charge you 8 cents at Safeway for this plastic bag, but Walmart now charges you $1 if you buy one of their bags. So, all right.
Okay. So continuing on. So you fill up your cart full of shit and you go to self-checkout because there's only like one checker in the whole store. And then you proceed to do their job for them and check out. And because you don't want to buy their dollar bags, you just leave your cart, your groceries just all
in the cart.
In the cart.
Yep.
Then you pay and you walk out, and then somebody tries to stop you at the entrance for your receipt.
They're trying to be like Costco, where you got to check your receipt versus all the merchandise you bought. But
okay, so this is what's happened to me twice now. So they give you the little scanner thing, right? Ching, 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 ching. So you don't have to swipe all the heavy stuff. So I'm in Walmart and I'm doing that. I'm just going through the cart of all the big stuff, and the alarm starts going off, And so everything freezes and minutes go by. So now you're wasting my time.
Yep.
Totally. So minutes go by. I can't go any further in this process. And this chick comes over and she's like looking at the screen if I've, what's causing this issue. And it was that the AI or whatever was saying that I was, probably not scanning everything because I was just going click, 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 on the labels on the cat litter, right? And so
the barcodes, yeah.
Yeah. So she, this is frightening. So she stops, she pushes a button on the cash register thing, and she rewinds the video to make sure that I scanned the cat litter or whatever it was. It was at least cat litter once. I don't remember what the second time was. I was hot. I mean, not only am I doing your job for you, but now you're going to stop me and I can't even continue doing your job for you.
Yeah.
And you're wasting my time, and I'm not stealing. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And then you're going to try to check my receipt on the way out?
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Yeah. Yep.
No. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's like I've been seeing some stories in these memes. It's hilarious. It's like, they're trying to push everybody to go to these cash or checkout, self-checkout stands. So you're eliminating jobs for people that are trying to, have a job first and foremost. But then, passing on the benefits to us, the consumer, because, if I work for Walmart and I shopped at Walmart, they'd give me a discount, right? So, but I'm now, in a sense, shopping and working at Walmart because I'm doing Walmart's job.
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, then why can't they pass along this more savings to me and give me the 10% employee discount that you would have gave to somebody standing there to do that
is
job?
a very, very good point. If you're going to make me do your work, at least, don't bend me over and hike up my prices. At least give me a cut.
Yeah. And with Walmart, it's like, hey, if you're going to have somebody stand there looking at receipts, you better do it across the board, because it's one of those things like, why are you singling me out versus this other person? Why not that person? And so you're just going to get yourself into
and you've got
trouble.
A whole bunch of people now walking out with grocery because they don't want to pay for the bags, right? Yeah. So they've got these grocery carts full of.
Yeah, so you don't know if they just came straight off of the aisles after they got done shopping and just bypassed the cash, the self-checking center, and walked out or trying to walk out.
But I'm telling you right now, the Walmart surveillance is like something I have never seen, and I got to see it on the front end. I haven't even seen it on the back end, so I could only imagine it's like CCP material.
Yeah, and
it was really frightening.
It's like really ironic too that they're going to basically put in all this sophistication to just let people, if you walk out and you refuse to stop, say you're a real shoplifter, they have policies where you can't go hands on, you can't leave the store, you can't do all these things. So you got to spend all that money to track them. They're not going to stop them. They're not going to detain them to get them arrested, to prosecute them. So it's like, why are you wasting the money on the technology then?
Yeah, oh my God, I was so mad.
Well, then you got Costco. It's like, they've got those self-checkouts now, and people are just leaving half the items in the cart and saying they're scanning them, and they don't. They can't.
So we were at Costco, and I had pointed out to you that top checkers on the wall, right?
They're aggressive. I mean,
they're super. So if you want to get out of Costco fast, go to self-checkout, because they will scan your stuff for you.
Yeah.
And they do that because they get either a bonus or
if they're the top checkers, they get some kind of bonus. Yeah.
Yeah. And so for the first couple of times, we just go through self-checkout because we really don't have that many stuff. And Mike's like, no, I can do it myself.
Yeah. And
then
they get angry.
Yeah, they get angry. They want to do it because and they get the sale or the points or whatever it is that they get. So
the points per item.
And they're much faster at it, so I really don't care.
But we still have to box stuff up because we're not going to because we go there. We're not going to just put all these 30 items.
Right? Yeah, we're doing half the job for them.
Yeah.
So not only are they doing it because they get the points for it or whatever, but we've got to pack it up.
Because if you go through a checkout line where they have the cashier and they have the bagger, they'll be like, hey, you want boxes? And you'd be like, yeah. So they'll throw them in boxes. So, anybody's been to Costco, it makes it a lot easier. I like it. I like boxes too, because I don't want to have 30 items. Then I got to load up my arms and drop them, they're 2 boxes and you're done.
Yeah. And it's not rolling all over the car and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So moving on. We have some video review, and we've got how many videos? 3, I think.
I think it's 3. Yeah,
3 to go over. So we're just going to go over those again. This is not like we're not here to hammer anybody.
no,
we're not experts. We're just giving our points of
giving our own opinions, and that really amounts to not a whole lot.
Yeah. And so I am a retired lieutenant with over 23 years, and I was in the force review lieutenant. And Mike has the same amount of time.
I got about a little over 22.
Yeah. And
I did some more tactical stuff when I was working with the anti-crime team. I got to do a lot of training with SWAT and, forced entries, that sort of thing, take down bad people, the bad people sometimes.
Yeah. So the first one we're going to cover is the Baltimore cops shoot suspect who opened fire during foot chase. So let me hop over to YouTube.
Did you ever find out why they were chasing the guy, or was it just probably some kind of crime he committed and just ended up in a foot pursuit?
Let me read through it real quick. It says
because there was a lot of cops in the area, and somewhere in
it says on November 7th of 20. Oh my God, this was really recent. I didn't realize this was so recent.
A couple weeks ago, huh?
Yeah. The Direct Action Team, or DAT team, they call themselves, were performing a proactive patrol in the area due to the recent number of shootings and had attempted to stop a man later identified as 27-year-old Hunter Jessup, who they believed was armed. Jessup ran after the officers asked him to lift up his shirt as they checked for weapons during the foot chase. Jessup is seen holding a Glock 23 and firing at least one shot, which struck a nearby parked Ford Focus. Jessup broke an attempted tackle by one officer. Police officers then fired a total of 36 rounds at Jessup, striking him. Jessup was taken to the University of Maryland Shock Trauma Center, where he was pronounced dead.
Yeah, 36 rounds. I'd be curious to know how many hit him.
Yeah.
But you're not going to...
I don't know.
That's not a high percentage survivability.
Yeah, if it was sympathetic fire or not, I don't know. Let's take a look-see and see what we've got here. Buffering.
He's holding. He's got his head. Drop it. Drop it.
Do you have anything you want to add real quick before we continue on?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not really. I mean, it's a foot pursuit. The guy's screaming. Like we said, I mean, it's a foot pursuit. Nobody's in really the primary or the contact, whoever, so everybody's just trying to give commands, and I can understand that.
Yeah. Okay, what about now?
Yeah, well, we've been following this gentleman here, this officer, and you can, as he was running and screaming that he got a gun, I mean, I can understand the excitability in it. And now he's just been involved in, a shooting, and you can see right there his slide is locked to the back. So he emptied his service weapon, and usually that's, depending on the caliber, could be anywhere from 12 to 15 rounds.
Right.
And then his manner in which he's telling everybody he needs another mag is,
he's freaking out.
Yeah, I would almost say, yeah. He's definitely tunnel vision, code black, maybe. Just, if you were with us yesterday or the other day when you saw that SWAT takedown, those guys, I mean, you didn't hear one iota of that kind of emotion or excitement in their voice. So
no, they were very calm and in control.
Yep.
In that other call. Okay, let's continue on.
Going out there, Wilkins.
You're looking at me like you want to say something.
Oh, it was just one of those things. It's like at the end of that video of that one officer, you could kind of see where he finally got a mag. He, reloaded and he got back in there. But I just didn't like the way he
was he running with only one mag?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I can't see what his makeup is. But if you're working a team like that, you carry more than one mag. But he lazed his partners downrange is what I was concerned about.
Yeah, let's continue.
Eastbound, Wilkins.
It's even like this guy. He doesn't have his gun in his hand while running, which can be dangerous.
Well, in my opinion, it can be dangerous either way. I mean, some people just trip over like air and just shoot themselves.
What's that saying? That sympathetic response?
Yeah.
Where one hand does something, the other hand sympathetically follows it. So if you go to grab somebody with your left hand and you got your gun in your right hand, you might have a tendency to close your right hand, and that sometimes then gets you negligent discharge.
Yeah. Yep. That's why they put your tasers now on the opposite side of your gun side.
Yeah.
Or at least most departments do.
The ground! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop it! Drop it! Who's that?
Another perspective from a different officer's body cam.
853 foot chase, moving down, going eastbound, 2200 blocks. Male, black male, wearing all gray. Hey! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop it! Drop it! Oh, go!
Yeah, you want to pause it there?
Yeah.
Yeah, see that one, this is one where we're talking about. I didn't like the fact that, he was doing what he needed to do to get in there, but then it appeared to me he started firing a service weapon while there were two officers down range of him. So he essentially fired in between two officers. The female was on the right, she was kneeling by the staircase, and then you had another gentleman to his left, and he fired as he ran in between the two of them. And then you'll see in this one, it'll be a lot clearer because this will be the female. He passes in front of the female as she's, engaging downrange, which, you got to be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, you got to know your backdrop, know where your partners are, all of that stuff.
So, yeah.
Okay, so she actually tries to intercept him.
Yeah.
So she
tried to body check him a little.
She tries to body check him.
And I think she knocks him off balance where he kind of stumbles. So
so does she.
Yeah.
So she's going down.
See how the officer just cut in front of her? You gotta,
let's back it up just a hair.
Right there, you can see his feet. She's up, and then as she recognizes it, she does a great job of recognizing it.
She does a very good job of
recognizing. Comes down to the
recognizing.
low ready, so she doesn't laze him, or potentially, she doesn't point her gun at him and possibly shoot him. She comes down. He's like, see, and he's got happy feet. So
yeah, she did a really good job. So what are the learning points from this incident, would you say?
Well, it's not every day people get into shooting because, like we talked about, I've never been in a shooting. But you definitely have to train yourself to slow things down. Be cognizant of where everybody's at, be aware of what's going on, and your demeanor is going to either elevate or it's going to de-escalate everything else around you. So you got to remember to breathe.
Yep, and breathe and just
look at the big picture.
Yeah, remain calm as much as you can.
Like I said, I'm not everybody. All the officers are safe. Kudos. That's great. But once you look at the situations like these, it's like, okay, what can we use these as a learning point? And we do, even with our department, right? Don't we bring these up in training? Well,
Well, we used to. We don't work there anymore, but all the time we analyze other people's video. What can we learn from this? Because even though every incident is totally different, there's something similar to them.
Yeah.
You know,
you're always working on, officer safety, you know, technique or tactics and technique and
cover and concealment and time and distance and shielding and all those things.
And because not every officer is going to be involved in a shooting. You know, this isn't like, what a Chicago Fire or NYPD, where you're getting in shootouts every day and they're back on the streets the next day. We have to, we've even pulled our own videos, body worn and dash cams and critique our officers who we know in our department.
And that was my job, was to, point out, all the things that I saw that could be an issue, a training
done
issue.
better.
Yeah. And I'm not an expert by any means. And I also have the benefit of sitting in a seat in an office reviewing the video. These officers do not.
No, they're split-second decisions.
Split-second decisions. But what can you think about ahead of time that could maybe change the outcome in some incidents?
Right.
That's all this is.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's like we often say, you got to play the what if game. What if I'm confronted with this? What would I do? What if I am driving down the road? It can be tiring, but you can't get live reps.
The weirdest shit will happen to you at some point in your career.
Yep.
And it has happened to me at least multiple times.
Oh yeah. It's like you can't prepare for every situation that can happen out there. And if you think you're mastering police work, then you're only going to get yourself hurt or somebody else hurt, because it's different every day.
Yeah. So our next video comes to us from Denver. Cops shoot a suspect who pointed an airsoft pistol at them. This comes also from police activity on YouTube. So let's take a look-see at this one.
And I'm going to go guess that at the time they didn't know it was an airsoft.
Well, yeah, I would absolutely say that. I mean, I don't even have to listen. I mean,
up to 46.
Yeah.
Get on the ground now! Denver police, put that fucking gun down now! Drop it! Drop the gun! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it!
And clearly he's trying to do suicide by cop because he's yelling, shoot me.
Drop.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, he was yelling, shoot me, without raising the gun. So clearly the gun's in his hand. He's yelling, shoot me. He's just, unfortunately, trying to do suicide by cop.
Yeah. And that is just such a selfish way to go to do to these poor officers.
Drop the gun!
And the officers are like, please, just drop it, please.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
No, like I said, it's not.
Cops don't wake up in the morning saying, I want to go kill somebody.
Right. That's not the first thought on their mind as they're putting on the uniforms. Like, hey, hope I get to shoot somebody today. No.
Yeah, no.
Drop the gun! Drop it now! Drop it! Come on, bro, it's not worth it. Just drop it.
So the other officer is saying, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Please drop it. Drop it. Drop it. They're trying to de-escalate and get this guy corralled the best they can with what they believe to be a real weapon. And they do look totally real.
Oh, gosh, yes.
You can't even tell them apart.
Nowadays, yeah. They look exactly like a real gun.
Yeah.
Can we help you? Find out where we're going to shoot you. Drop it. How can we help you? What do you need?
So he's heading towards traffic.
Looks like a major intersection.
Yeah.
Shots fired. Hands up to the side. Let me get. Move your hands inside. Gun. Hands inside. I got two people. Go ahead. Damn it. Don't cuff him up. Don't cuff him up. Who's got a tourniquet on him? I didn't get it. I told you go test me.
See that tourniquet?
Tourniquet,
community
good job.
caretaking.
Yeah.
Don't cuff and
You good?
Okay. Thoughts?
Well, overall, it's a tough situation to be in. You can see there's nothing. I didn't like how they were clumped together in the middle of a street without, because the first thing they teach us, if you're on the range or in training is you want a little bit of, distance in between you, because it's a lot easier to shoot three people that are standing side by side than it is shoot three people that have 20 feet between them. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a whole lot of cover or concealment on that road. And I wouldn't feel comfortable, but you're kind of dealt the cards.
I mean, sometimes you're just dealt just a shit sandwich, and that was a shit sandwich. There's no cover. It's mobile. He's on foot. You're headed towards traffic. It's the middle of the day. Yeah. I mean, you've got all these things that you have to think about, right? Your backdrop and kids getting out of school and animals and, innocence and,
Yeah. And like I said, they're walking towards a major intersection, it looked like, and luckily no cars went by, but we're responsible for each round we send down
every
range.
Single round,
no matter where it strikes. And hopefully it hits an intended target, which is to disable the bad people, but you miss, and wherever it lands, you're responsible for it.
Yeah. So the suspect was shot in the arm and the torso. Officers fired 12 rounds total. One of the officers had previously been involved in an OIS, which is an officer-involved shooting. While on duty as an officer, the man was taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition. He survived his injuries and is facing multiple counts of felony menacing. No officers or bystanders were injured during this event.
Wow. Yeah, 12 shots. It sounds like he got hit twice, maybe, arm and torso.
Yeah.
So that's potentially...
Okay. And our third video, it comes to us from Florida. And this one is titled, Florida Man Rams His Car into Two Deputies.
Yeah, this one's short and quick, but you got to be ready for it. It's shocking.
It is shocking.
Disturbing.
Yeah, it is.
We need mom to come downstairs.
At first, you don't realize it, but there's that deputy right there that was hit.
Get out the vehicle right now! Get on the floor!
How they didn't shoot him is beyond me.
Get on the ground right now!
Say that again.
Said how they did not shoot him is beyond me.
Yeah.
I mean,
agreed. That was a deadly force scenario.
Yeah. And then, the
times 10. Yeah.
Deputy that was laying on the ground because his leg was injured and he was standing right above him. I mean, it's like.
And this guy's, walking up after just creaming those deputies, or at least one. I think there was two in there. I'm not sure.
No, he creamed two. One went over the passenger side of the hood and that one was on the driver's side.
Yeah. And now he's coming at these other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. See, I told you I would win this.
Yeah.
Debate with the cat.
Yeah, you definitely did.
Okay, so let's continue.
I mean, outstanding, restraint on those deputies. I mean, if you watch it, it happens so quickly. You run through it again one more time.
Yeah, let me read the scenario. The scenario is on November 9th, again, not that long ago, HCSO, so Hillsborough County, Florida Sheriff's Office, received a call at 7:44 a.m. from a woman stating she was in fear of her son, who was behaving violently at their home in Brandon, located on Dexwell Court. When the deputies arrived, they came into contact with Ralph Boozy, 28, who was in the driver's seat of the vehicle in the driveway of his home. Deputies tried to make contact with him, expressing they were there to help, but Boozy refused to speak to them and drove away. Just after 8 a.m., Boozy returned to the scene, deliberately ambushing the deputies there. He accelerated his vehicle as he turned onto Dexwell Court, causing a deputy to jump out of the way to avoid being hit. Boozy then continued to speed towards two deputies standing outside of their marked SUVs, violently colliding with both deputies. The two deputies involved were Corporal Brito and Deputy Santos, both sustained serious injuries and critical injuries and are receiving treatment.
Wow.
So let's just watch it one more time. How it's just so crazy. He's this guy's facing attempted murder charges too.
Oh yeah, as he should.
Yeah. He's been arrested for 3 felonies, 14 misdemeanors, and is facing charges of attempted murder of a law enforcement officer, as he should.
We need mom to come downstairs.
So you see the one deputy car to the left there by the house, and then the other one just backed in and stopped. Deputy got out, and here he comes. You can hear him rev. So there's the one that got out of the way on the passenger side. Here's the other. He went left, one went right.
Get out the vehicle!
So right there.
Right there, yeah.
Why that? How that deputy didn't shoot him from his back is.
Yeah.
How he didn't? I mean, he had him right there. He's on his back, had his gun pointed at him. Why he didn't shoot is great restraint, and it worked out.
Yeah. I mean, that's all we can say is it worked out. It's not how I would have handled it.
Yeah. We could always say, well, if I would have been there, but
we weren't there.
My training, in my mind, I probably would have reacted differently.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah. I'm not going to say how or what I would have done,
but this day and age, not everybody, but most people have paralysis by analysis, because as we saw on our last episode, 6 officers are getting charged. Now, did they handle that call correctly? In my opinion, absolutely not even close.
Yeah, in my opinion, I agree.
But because of that, everybody is starting to second guess themselves, and that's a very dangerous situation.
Well, and especially in this day and age, I know here in the state of Washington, every police officers have qualified immunity. That is one thing in Olympia, which is the capital of Washington, that legislators and these woke people are trying to get taken away from officers. So you take away that qualified immunity,
nobody's going to do this job.
It's a mass exodus, because as always, we're making split second decisions, and people get hurt.
Yep.
Police work isn't pretty.
No,
and so. And that's another part of the paralysis by analysis. Now folks are having to contemplate, well, is it worth it? You're having to do too much thinking, doing a what if situation of check marks of like, okay, what do I?
And you can't plan for something like that. I mean, that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so, again, what are you going to do if you're on your back?
Yeah. I mean, this guy just tried to kill you with his car. He just stepped out. You don't know if he has any weapons on him. You don't know clearly his intent wasn't to stop, because he kept walking at those other deputies. But if you're 3 feet from this guy after he just tried to kill you with his car,
literally,
you're laying on your back and you got your gun out, and it's like, hey, that's a split second decision that he chose not to fire. So, and it worked out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So next on our list is our dumb AF questions.
Yeah.
So, we just want you guys to know more about us, just because we're humans too. And it's just funny.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do we got?
Okay. So would you gain 100 pounds for $50,000?
That depends. If I gained it, can I lose it, or do I have to keep it?
Well, it doesn't say you can.
Because I mean, shit, for $50,000, I don't know how I'd do it, but I'd pack on 100 pounds if I could turn around and then take it off for 50 grand. Yeah, I do that. But if you're telling me, because right now I'm weighing about 185, you're telling me I have to weigh 285 for the rest of my life to keep the 50K, or I got to send it back.
50K is not shit.
Not worth it. But if you want me to gorge myself up to 100 pounds at 285, and then I can turn around and start dieting, exercising, and losing it all again, yeah, I'd probably give it a go.
Interesting.
Yeah. You?
Absolutely not. No way in hell would I gain 100 pounds for $50,000. Not for $100,000, not for $1 million.
You wouldn't probably put a pound on willingly for 50K. You'd be like, no,
no, there is absolutely no. I would be like the worst actress ever. Like if I had to take a role where they're like, you have to gain 30 pounds.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, thank you.
Oh, but you love the roles where you can like drop 20 pounds and weigh about 99 pounds.
Yeah. Okay. So,
yeah.
Have you ever hitchhiked?
I have.
You have?
I have.
Where'd you hitchhike to?
God, I don't know.
Have you hitchhiked more than once?
Oh, yeah.
Have you really?
I remember one time vividly, it was like I was just out of high school as a fall. I was moving to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So, I graduated that spring, and then I was moving with my buddy in Coeur d'Alene, Hayden Lake, and my car broke down.
Hayden Lake?
Yeah.
I've been to Hayden Lake.
Yeah. So my car broke down en route, and, I think I was just outside of Spokane. So I had hitchhiked to the next, basically, rest stop area. So I could, because back then, you don't have cell phones and stuff. So
Yeah, we didn't have cell phones. Yeah.
No, they're still about a year or two out. But yeah, so I did that. And then one time, again, when I was in the Army, we went down to Galveston Island and partied.
Oh, did you?
I got separated.
Did you puke and rally?
No.
That was one of our questions last episode.
I had puked and rally, but not this time. I didn't puke and rally this time, but I got separated from my friends and the group I was with, and we weren't staying in Galveston.
Oh.
So I basically kind of drunk hitchhiked back to this other town that I needed to get to try to find them.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I have never hitchhiked. However.
Doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't?
No, you're scared of a lot of things.
I am.
I think, rightfully so. If you jumped into somebody's car, you'd be unfortunately, some guy would probably stop and try to put you on Dateline or something because you disappeared.
Well, but what I was going to say is my sister Gabby and I picked up a hitchhiker once.
Oh, okay.
And I thought we were going to end up on a Dateline.
And I'm thinking back.
And that was in Montana. And I don't know. I do not know what the hell we were thinking.
Not in Montana. There's nothing out there.
Everybody's armed in Montana, though. He could have killed us and dumped us off in the woods. We've never
isolated.
Yeah, neve been heard from again.
Yeah.
I just don't even know what we were thinking. And
I can't. I don't have an active memory of me picking up a hitchhiker. I want to say I know I would have back in the day, but I don't. It sucks getting old.
So I've never hitchhiked, but I have one time picked up a hitchhiker and it scared the shit out of me and I never did it again.
Well, there you go. Lesson learned, right?
The lesson learned, right? So let's just lighten the load with some just
funny videos. We're not
nope.
No deuces, no dumping deuces.
Nope. Just stupid stuff. Okay, so what do you think about lane splitting?
Oh, on a motorcycle?
Yeah.
No. I wouldn't. I would. The shoulder, yes. I can understand the shoulder, but lane splitting, no, because you're relying on the randomness of people not to just switch lanes.
Because there's some states that allow lane splitting, yeah.
California does. It's legal. But, the other thing California has going for them that Washington doesn't is they have the ability to widen all these highways because it's flat.
Mm-hmm.
But, so their lanes of travel are much bigger, which gives the motorcyclist more room to maneuver. But, they say, I think you can only do a maximum of like 20 miles an hour or something. And none of them do. They all speed. But, we've all been stuck in traffic, I guess, brain farting on the word, rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
And people just
this aging process is just amazing.
Right.
Oh my God. I get like
the grays, not because I'm young.
I know.
And you know, how often do you see people just all of a sudden switch lanes out of nowhere?
Oh, all the time.
Yes. And now imagine you're a motorcyclist and you know, people aren't expecting a motorcycle doing 40 miles an hour to come zooming up in between them. So
okay, here's lane splitting. Shit.
Yeah, clearly it's not illegal in that state.
No.
No, I pulled over motorcyclists when I was commuting for Seattle because motorcycles, like I said, it's tiring being in rush hour traffic on a motorcycle. You know, your clutch hand gets tired, your engine starts to overheat, and so they would jump on the shoulder and speed up the shoulder, and that's illegal in Washington also. And so I would make my way over the shoulder and pull them over.
Yeah. That lane splitting just scares me. I can't believe that people even attempt to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because lane splitting, people are changing lanes all the time. Shoulder, you get the people who are breaking down and you can kind of see them as they go to the shoulder, which to me would be a lot safer. But yeah, if they pass a law that says, hey, if you're in rush hour traffic and you can ride the shoulder, I'd do that.
Because in Washington, motorcycles don't even have to have insurance, right?
They do now.
They do now.
Yeah. Yeah, but okay. Back, I think this was only like within the last 10 years that you were required to have. No, I take that back. It's been longer than that because I never had an endorsement until I actually got, funny story, I actually bought something worth insuring. So, you know, I never had it. All the motorcycles I ever rode, I never had insurance on them, you know, and back then you didn't have to. But then, yeah, you know, but to get insurance, then you have to go through
like a class thingy.
Yeah, the endorsement. And then to get a discount, you have to go through like a defensive driving.
Okay, so this next video is this dude, and I don't know where this is, but this dude thinks that he can predict this eruption of this volcano.
Yeah, well, you say it every day. One day you're going to be right.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, nothing. 7, 6.
That's funny.
I gotta watch it again.
Oh yeah.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, nothing. 7, 6.
But then the guy counting, all of a sudden you can see him. He was startled because that was probably the
you can tell that's not BS. No. You know, that's not staged or anything.
So he probably felt like a little earthquake because that thing started erupting because you could see all of a sudden right before it blew. He's like, "Yep,
yep."
That's pretty funny.
Okay, so this next video, I'm gonna call it Paul Blart.
Oh, Mall Cop Paul Blart.
I'm gonna call it the Paul Blart, and they're screaming, "Stop recording!" to everybody that's recording this jewelry heist going on.
Oh.
Stop the recording. What job is that?
Huh. Well, that is kind of the definition. The way we are in the state of affairs here in America.
Yeah,
you had one guy holding 10 people at bay. You know, it's like,
right. Because nobody wants to touch him or get in trouble or do anything. And then you got somebody else screaming, "You can't record." Well, of course you can record.
Yeah.
And you probably should.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's clearly the only evidence you're going to get, you know? So I'm just like, wow, you have all of these people and this guy still gets away.
Well, the one guy got away. The other guy got away. They pig-piled the one, and then his buddy took off running.
Right.
But, it's kind of like the state of affairs here in the country. It's like you got less than 1% of the population of America is holding pretty much like the other 99%
being held hostage. Yeah.
It's like one criminal can terrorize a whole town. It's like, oh, fuck that.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all we've got for you guys today. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. If you could give us a like or follow on YouTube or Rumble.
Throw us a comment.
Yeah, throw us a comment.
Suggestions, ideas.
Yeah.
Tell me how bad I am. It's up to you.
You're not bad. It just helps us out in, spreading our message and, that cops are just humans.
Yeah.
And
doing a tough job. Nobody else wants to do anymore.
Yep. So. Firefighters too, dispatchers, nurses, military.
Yep.
Everybody's
EMTs,
corrections. Everybody's just doing the best they can. Yep. And it's a really tough job.
When it comes to that thankless job that you're going to try to prosecute them for, it's hard to get recruitment going.
Yeah. So if you could just give us a follow, that would be awesome. Yep. We're mostly on YouTube and Rumble. So talk to you guys later. Have a great week.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Fuzz Buzz Podcast. If you're enjoying what you've heard today, please feel free to rate, subscribe, or leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the Fuzz Buzz. Y'all be good out there.